Li aħna bħala pajjiż għandna potenzjal li nagħmlu r-riċerka u r-riċerka tagħna tkun groundbreaking u anke tasal biex tagħmel innovazzjonijiet illi kollhom mhux biss impatt lokali imma impatt mad-dinja globali. Illum qegħdin narfu illi l-Università ta' Malta għandha rol importanti fejn tidħol ir-riċerka. U dak li qegħdin jagħmlu it-tim ta' Professur Grek u riċerkaturi oħra huwa speċifikament u eżatti dak li jidentifikaw differenzi bejn l-istess cancer minn persuna l-oħra.
Lan ta' dan il-proġett kien li nadattaw teknoloġiji biex niżviluppaw metodi iktar preċiżi u iktar sensittivi biex nidentifikaw karatteristiċi ta' tumuri fil-materjal tumur imma anki fil-partiċelli li ikunu li oriġinaw mill-ċelloli tat-tumur u li jkunu fid-demm. F'dan il-proġett kien hemm ukoll intervent min-naħa tal-industrija fej dattaw mbagħad il-metodu biex jagħmluh innovattiv. Dik l-industrija li ħadmet dal-proġett jisimha Applied BIOTECH. Dal-proġett sar minħabba li kien hemm fondi li ġew minn Malta Council for Science and Technology.
Huwa fatt li wieħed minn kull 3 persuni f'Malta jimred bil-kanċer qabel ma jilħaq l-età ta' 75 sena. Il-mart tal-kanċer jaffettwa lill-familji, lill-komunitajiet, l-ekonomija u s-sistemi tas-saħħa. Skont statistika maħruġa mill-Laqda Dinjija tas-Saħħa, bejn 30 sa 50% tal-każijiet tal-kanċer jistgħu jiġu evitati. Il-Professur Grek, flimkien ma' l-Applied BIOTECH Limited, laħqu miri ġodda fl-screening tal-kanċer. Dan il-konsorzju ħadem b'entużjażmu li ma bħalu sabiex inħolqot għodda ta' diagnosi ġdida sabiex jinqabad kif spjega sewwa il-professur il-kanċer tas-sider u dak tal-musrala kbira fi stadji aktar bikrija u għalhekk allura tkun aktar kurabbli.
U naħseb kien propizju ħafna l-mument tal-lum li għadna kif iċċelebrajna ftit tal-jemilu jum il-mara, kien mument apposta li għazilna wkoll biex nuru dal-avvanz li sar. L-act screening, speċjalment fejn jidħol screening tas-sider tal-mara, huwa grazzi għad riċerka naraw metodu nqas invażiv u li jgħin ħafna aktar lil-mara ħanejdu hekk sabiex ikun hemm prevenzjoni. Investejna dal-aħħar hawnhekk madwar 8 miljun euro f'fondi fir-riċerka. Jien ngħid li xorta mhux biżżejjed. Bi-kwotazzjoni kien qal President Obama fejn kien qal dak in-nazzjon li hu bis-serjetà l-innovazzjoni u għan-nazzjon li jkun qed imexxu wkoll fejn tidħol l-aspett ekonomiku fl-aspett globali. U qed insemmi dan għaliex dak li qegħdin naraw illum huwa parti żgħira minn programm ta' investiment li qed nagħmlu aħna bħala pajjiż, bħala gvern, bħala MCS ukoll fl-aspett tar-riċerka.
It all started with studies that we did in leukemias way back in 2002, where we actually identify a mechanism for which cells that become malignant changes, and therefore we started studying that particular mechanism. The basic research is going to feed the information on markers that will give us information on the patients. Since 2008, we opened up this lab that we are in today, and we are working on this mechanism and also on these new markers. So we found a very specific subtype of very aggressive breast cancer. Now, this particular subtype, because the mechanism it all originated from a study of a mechanism, and this mechanism we have some therapies against. Okay, so these markers will tell us and predict sensitivity to this particular therapy. In the meantime, we also looked at technologies because we needed very sensitive technologies to actually read very small amount of tissues. Then we got into a problem that the tissues was of very low quality, so we needed to adapt technology for low quality. So all in all, one by one, we built markers to have information on patients. We build technology, and we use that technology and we build new methods. Today, we stand with new methods that are very sensitive, they are very precise, and they are innovative. They are innovative because we can move these methods very quickly towards the clinical setup, towards the healthcare system. Well, it all started when I started my PhD. Okay, so this is where we identified this mechanism. When I started off then my research group, then I had various postdocs throughout the years, so starting from 2008 to today, so it's a number of postdocs. I had also students that were doing their doctorate that today are postdocs with me. So the research team today is made up of 3 postdocs, 3 PhD students, a number of master students, and also we have the clinical research part.
This is where I come into place, where I focus mainly on the validation and the application of such methodologies. So eventually this can be used in the clinical laboratories to give a very precise and accurate result to the patients.
Now we're optimizing that and trying to get that we're fine-tuning what biomarkers we need to look for to identify this group of tumors, and also how we can use new therapeutics to target the tumor. And also there's the technology aspect, one of the biggest challenges of every day, trying to apply what we do here, not just in a very complex way, how we do it here, but simplify that while maintaining sensitivity and precision.
So we work together to have basic information, clinical information, and innovation. The biggest difficulty is to keep a research team together. Okay? So the main difficulty is to get funded throughout all these years, and that these funding will build on other basic information that our output, the research output, is based on. Right now we don't have international funds, but we had a joint Malta-Italian fund on a project called Imaginex, and that really gave us a lot of money. Today we are lucky as well to have the Research Innovation Development Trust, which actually gets money from the public, and they give us scholarships for our PhD students.
This particular project, as in any given project which we are presented with for funding, had to go through all the stages which led to its attaining fully fledged technology development program fund, which goes up to 200,000 euro. The subject matter is of a great degree of importance. The fact that we have specimens coming from patients dating back for decades makes us an ideal test bed. The commercializable potential of the project made this pretty much straightforward decision.
For these projects, we work very closely with Mater Dei Hospital consultants and also with the oncology center. It's called Sir Anthony Mammo Oncology Center. This is because we have to work in projects together, because patient material will come from the hospitals. Okay. In addition, we also do a lot of clinical information. They have a lot of clinical information and archival materials that we can actually have access through such projects. So a project in medicine has to have the component from the government to actually help you to achieve what you need to achieve.
Research such as this that is going on at the University of Malta puts us in the forefront in this type of cancer research. So I congratulate the team here at the University of Malta and I wish them well. The
outcome is that we can now, because of our sensitive methods, read characteristics of tumor in very small vesicles, which we call particles, and these particles are in the blood. So because of our methodology, then we can read these tumors.
Through the research and innovation, we can secure a better lifespan, a longer, lengthier lifespan for people, and obviously we can address specific issues such as breast cancer before obviously this is diagnosed. That is the ultimate aim of this research.
This technology has many applications first. It has an application in the diagnostic world. It has an application in the selection of therapy, the right selection of therapy. It has an application in the management of therapy and the successful outcome of therapy. It also has an advantages like the cost saving. To have a blood sample as compared to having biopsy, that's in itself is a big saving in terms of cost. It also has an advantages in the early diagnosis of patients. It reduces the time for result as compared to the current techniques.
Today, within 2 days, we can have 96 patients done for more than 40 characteristics. Thankfully, this particular license of use has been granted to a biotech industry now, and they will commercialize that product. So that is the next step. So Applied Biotech now would move that into the commercial world. What is nice is that they have already been granting the license from Luminex Corporation to read that particular technology, and therefore they can move on with the development.
Our company, Applied Biotech Limited, have applied jointly with the University of Malta to get funding from the Malta Council for Science and Technology. We got the fund, we carried out the validation of this technology, and we have so many applications of this technology. Applied Biotech Limited has signed a contract with the University of Malta, exclusive licensing agreement to manufacture these kits. We believe the first product of this technology will be available this July. It will be manufactured by Applied Biotech Limited.